Hey losers, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my most spookiest TBR of the MFing year. I am here with my October TBR. Now, in October, I am participating in and helping with Halloween-a-thon, which is hosted by Slime and Slashers. If you've been watching my most recent videos, maybe you've watched my vlog for the first week of that. Maybe you have watched my announcement video for that. Maybe you've watched my TBR for that. My, well, it wasn't just a TBR, it's what I'm reading, watching, and doing for Halloween-a-thon. I've put out a couple videos, so if you're hearing about that for the first time, where the fuck have you been? That's okay though. I will leave a link to all of the, I will leave a link for the link tree, which includes all the information to that, as well as a link to Kelsey's and my own announcement videos for that, if you're interested in participating or just curious about what it is, which is, it is now a month long. It was more than a month. It started in September, but now it is a month-long read-a-thon, watch-a-thon, activity-a-thon for the spooky season. So whether you like horror, whether you just like fall activities, autumnal activities, this has got you covered. Whatever you want to do, you can make a game board, a bingo board, whatever. Kelsey's got prompts. Or you can do something like me. I'm filling a board in with the things that I would like to read and I would like to watch and I would like to do. And then I'm rolling and getting a randomized version of my own things. So anyway, here I am today with the books that I'm maybe reading in October. As you can see, it's quite a pile, and I know for sure I will not get to all of them, but in October, I like to read horror novellas. Why? Because I fucking love a horror novella. I think, honestly, a horror novella has... it is the perfect vessel for the horror story. It is not too short, it is not too long, and I think it really shows an author's writing chops, right? If you can nail a novella, it's like, oh, you might be one of my favorite authors. In fact, I think I've found some of my favorite authors by reading their novellas. It really shows me what you can do as an author. It also allows me in October to read to consume as many spooky stories as possible. So here I am reading more horror novellas, and I'm gonna go through my stack. Some of these I kind of have an idea about what they're about. Some of these I don't so much, so I'll let you know if I do, and if I don't, I will just... Here it is. Also, look at how cute and fat my sleepy little Fang is. Oh, she's like a little baby panda, except for she's mean sometimes. She's unpredictable. Maybe pandas are too, I don't know. I don't have a baby panda. Anyway, first up, Twist of Fate, The Locket by John Saul. This is part of the Blackstone Chronicles. I think these are all Cursed Object books. I read the first one, this is the second one. Then, Let's Get Invisible by R.L. Stine. This is Goosebumps number 6. I'm assuming they get invisible. The Forbidden Garden by Ursula Curtis. Whatever happened to Aunt Alice was more terrifying than what happened to Baby Jane. I don't know what that means. I did start reading this at some point. I didn't get very far into it. I was having it was a couple years ago. I was having a tough time with reading anything, and that was an abandoned book at that point. Then Funhouse by Diane Ho. I'm assuming this is about a carnival. College Weekend by R.L. Stine. This is a Fear Street book. I'm assuming about something about college. Then I've got my filthy loots. I've got Soft Ceremonies, Dirt in the Sky, Teenage Grave, and Isolation is Safety. The 4 of these are anthologies. I actually read a couple pages in the first story of Soft Ceremonies, which is written by Charlene Ellsby, the first story is, And oh, it got like really wickedly, ooh, like I had to be like, ah, for a second. I definitely want to continue on with this, but then I felt like I didn't get far enough to continue on with it when I needed to do a roll, because I didn't roll to read the book. So I don't know. And then I also have Meth DTF by Shane Jesse Christmas. And this says, this is a story about an imaginary city called Los Angeles. I'm a science fiction novel with no science fiction references, so what is that about? I have no idea. Then we have When the Reckoning Comes by LaTonya McQueen. This is about a black woman coming back to her hometown. Her best friend is a white woman. She is coming back to her hometown to attend her best friend's wedding, and the wedding's at a plantation, which actually reminds me of both, oh my god, I keep looking at my shelves and they're not the same way that they used to be. It reminds me of Jackal by Erin E. Adams, and also Queen of the Cicadas by V. Castro, all at the same time. So I don't know what this is about, but I've been really dying to read this. I mean, this cover screams Southern Gothic, and we'll see. Then we have Taboo in Four Colors by Tim McGregor. This seems like, I think it might be, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm trying not to read all the backsides of the books, but I think Jallowy. Then All Smoke Rises by Mark Matthews. I don't know what this is about. I'm doing this in an effort to not make this video 40 minutes long. Bad Astronauts by Grady Hendrix. I believe that this is about some astronauts being stranded in space and then like a rescue mission not sanctioned by NASA, I think. Then I also have The Midnight Exhibit, which is one of the Rewind or Die books, I think the very first one, and this is also an anthology. So this has like Haley Piper, no, this has Stephen Graham Jones, Philip Fracassi, and who else? Oh god, I'm trying not to make this so long, and then Renee Miller and Eddie Generous, or maybe Eddie Generous is the publisher, from Unnerving Press, actually, when I think about it. Then we have Take the Long Way Home by Brian Keene, The Creek by Rain King. I tried reading this last year, I think, or maybe the year before, and I didn't finish it, but this is a coming of age story about a boy who meets a girl, or a girl who meets a boy, and something about them like hanging out in the woods, and that's all I remember. Then we've also got Those Who Go Forth into the Empty Place of Gods. This cover makes it hard to read the title, but this is by Curtis M. Lawson and Doug Rinaldi. I don't know what this is about. Also, Blood Sugar by Daniel Kraus. I am not sure what this is about either, but I've liked what I've read from Daniel Kraus, and Alex, the Bookubus, I believe she told me that Daniel himself, if I'm remembering correctly, hopefully I'm remembering correctly, but I believe she told me that Daniel himself said that this is like one of his favorite things that he's written, and also like it's a Halloween book, and I've been saving it for Halloween, even though it's like it's not like a super lengthy novel, but it's definitely not quite novella length. It's a little bit over what I would consider a novella, but I'd really like to get to this. Probably like maybe I would listen to an audio copy. Then we have Man Fuck This House by Brian Assman. This is a weird haunted house story. Then we have Grind Your Bones to Dust by Nicholas Day. If I'm remembering correctly, something about a serial killer. Centralia, which includes Brian Keene, Cullen Bunn, Michael Patrick Hicks, Adam Caesar, someone and someone. Oh, I don't remember. But this is also like an anthology. Then we also have Psychic Teenage Bloodbath by Carl John Lee, which I found out is another author's pen name, which is kind of interesting. And this is about a teenager in a coma who uses her psychic powers. Ooh, I've been really interested in reading this one, and it just hasn't happened yet, but maybe this will be the time. Then we have The Bedmakers by Chad Lutsky and John Bowden. How We Broke by Bracken McLeod and Michael Patrick, or Paul, oh my God, Paul Michael Anderson. Completely wrong. And if I'm feeling like something about siblings coming back together. How wrong am I going to be with some of these? This is kind of fun, actually, like guessing about what I remember instead of looking at the synopsis on the back. Then we have Woodworm by Layla Martinez. I want to read this so much. Oh, I love this. Love this cover so much. Will my camera focus on the cover? Maybe. Can you see this? I don't know. Hopefully. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. It's got like a little, it almost looks like a little birdhouse, but there's a little lobster, a bird on top of it holding, it looks like a picture of the Virgin Mary almost. There was a little praying mantis inside of it. It looks very cozy and cute. But I've heard that this book is kind of weird and maybe gross if I'm remembering correctly. But this is something about a family, and I remember something about the women and maybe like the men dying and something about a house. Like I remember the house being important in the synopsis of this, and like maybe the men have to die to keep the house functioning correctly. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. This is fun though. I like doing this. Should I do all my TBRs like this? This would be so much fun. Just kidding. I don't know if it's very functional, but then we have The Laws of the Skies by Grégoire Courtois, and this is this sounds like The Troop and Lord of the Flies, where these children go on a camping trip, and I don't know exactly why, but things start to go wrong, and I think children start hurting each other for some reason. But this is one that someone recommended to me early in my booktube career, and one that I've, you know, haven't gotten a copy of for so long, and I specifically bought a copy to read this October, so hopefully the dice will be kind to me, or hopefully I'll get like a random space, or just, you know, have the opportunity to pick up a book because I have, you know, the time to do that in this month. Like maybe I'll roll a movie or an activity and need to also pick up a book or some shit like that. I don't know. Then we have Dear Laura by Gemma Amor. This is about a woman named Laura, and I believe she has a friend who's died, and some anonymous person has been writing her letters, and this person, I think, is like baiting her. Like they're like, oh, I know what happened to your friend, but in return they want Laura to share her deepest, darkest secrets. Also, All Hail the House Gods by Andrew J. Stone. And I think this is about people feeding their children to houses. This one sounds really weird. I'm really interested in this one. Candy by Justin Woodward. This one is about Candy, and I think Candy hunts down bad people, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, all of this is if I'm remembering correctly, but that's what I remember about Candy, is that I think she hunts down bad people. Oh, this one's kind of simple. This is Deadly Voices. It just says it right on the cover, by C.L. Swinney. The true story of serial killer Herbert Mullen. Then we have The Cormorant by Stephen Gregory, and I don't remember what this is about at all when I think about it. I have no idea. We have Ouija, The Most Dangerous Game by Stoker Hunt. This is the history of the Ouija board. Although, okay, none of the important pages are ripped out. That's good. Okay, and finally we have Let the Woods Keep Our Bodies by E.M. Roy. This is about a girl who gets blamed for, I think, a disappearance of another kid or another teenager. And I don't know if this is like a friend or like a partner, like a girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that. And then also like, I don't know, creepy woods. That was kind of fun. I like that. Did you like that? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how correct I am about some of these guesses. Those are my reading plans for October. Like I said, it's probably not possible for me to read all of those. I'm not sure how many there are. Quite a few. Maybe like 30 books, 40 books, 34 books. So I will not read all of those. That'd be more than one book a day. I can't possibly. It would be really cool, but maybe if I was not in school, but I am in school, and school's not been very nice to me recently. Anyway, look at my cat once more before we go. How cute is she? Oh, she like still just look like she's just such a sweet little cute little baby. And then she scratches your foot as you walk by and you're like, why'd you do that? And she's like, I just had a bloodlust. So that's what I'm reading in October. I'd love to know what your October reading plans are. Do you go super spooky? Do you tone it down? Do you like to watch spooky movies in October? I do. I have one planned out for every night. Well, it's a little bit randomized this year, I guess. But are you joining in Halloween-a-thon? Have you joined? Would you join the Discord and chat with us? Otherwise, I hope you have a really great October full of really fun, spooky things. Are you dressing up? Are you dressing up this year? Let me know. All the best wishes, all the spookiest wishes, all the spookiest wishes in the best way, of course. Thanks for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.